Hey everybody, this is Elman Woodson with your 5 minutes of motivation, and today I want to talk to you about the importance of communication. Now, everybody, a lot of times, sometimes people think when I say the word communication, they think that I'm talking about how I talk and how I express myself or how I get across a point. But there's so many different ways to communication that aren't really talked about, and today I want to talk to you about those. And some of those are called like nonverbal communication or practicing the art of listening. Yeah, I want to talk to you about those things because there's a lot of ways in which you communicate and you don't realize you're communicating. A lot of ways in which you're getting across a point and you don't realize you're getting across a point, but sometimes it goes without saying. Sometimes it goes without saying. Your expressions, the way that it comes across, or the way that you hear something but you don't hear something, or the way that you want to solve a problem before you even know there is a problem just because you're not really taking time to listen to what the other person is saying. It's important to really think about that. Now, I want to give you a personal example. The other day I was talking to my wife and she was telling me about this story about this guy who had called her for a business deal, and before she could even get far into the conversation or get far into her story, I was already in my mind solving the problem. And by me in my mind solving the problem, it came out in my words. And I said, "Oh, that's simple. You can just do this." Yeah, she's like, "Yeah, I know. I did that." I said, "Okay." And so she went, kept going with the story. And then another point came across in my mind. And I said, "You know what? Oh, you just do this. Why don't you just handle it this way?" She's like, "Listen, I already did that. So let me just keep going." And then once again, she said something else and it's triggered me to make me think of how to solve the problem. She was like, "Well," I said, "Oh, well, why didn't you should just do this thing here. If you do this, this can happen and that." And then she said, "Listen, you're not even letting me get to the point of why I'm telling you this story." And as she progressed and told me about it, had nothing to do with what I was trying to solve. What she was trying to do was trying to tell me a story about the importance of our taking care of ourselves, the importance of our health, and how the friend that called her, the person that called her, had said that I was thinking that it was totally related to business, and what she was getting across was that the friend that called said that his wife had went to this doctor for a cough that came back with a diagnosis of cancer and about the need for us to take care of our health. And I said, wow, my mind was jumping to conclusions. My mind was jumping to solving an apparent problem that wasn't even there. And she wasn't even talking about that story, talking about that problem that I had created in my mind. So what I'm saying to you is it's important that we learn to listen. It's important that we learn to take into consideration what the other person is saying. Let them finish it all the way out, because the thing is, a lot of times we're hearing what people are saying, but we're not really listening to what they're saying, what they're getting across, and the message that they want to express. It's important that you listen. Listen. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, and that's for a reason. So now what I do, what I'm working on, and I'm still working on this to get better at my communication, is I'm working on listening to everything she has to say before I formulate a response in my head or by verbally responding. It's important, and I realize that, I'm not the only one to do this. I know I'm not, because I've been working on this for a long time, and I feel like I'm a decent communicator, but there are times when I just jump into the conversation because I think I know what that person wants to get across. And sometimes I think I know what that person wants to say. And so when you do that, sometimes you run the risk of jeopardizing a level of communication with a person who you admire, who you look up to, who you have a relationship with. Don't do that. Take time to listen to what people are saying. Take time to take into consideration the things that they want to get across to you. And as you do, it will help to build your relationship. It will help to and strengthen the relationship that you currently have. And so that's all I wanted to say today. It happened so quickly, and it was something that I didn't even think that I did, but I do. I want to help. I want to solve, especially for the people who want to help and solve problems for people, who want to be a friend, who want to be a companion. Sometimes you jump to a conclusion to solve a problem that may not even be there. And if you just take a few more minutes to just listen more intently and actively listen to what that person is saying, it may end up being something that you totally weren't even thinking about. The message may be something completely different. So let's work on that today. Can we agree to work on that today? to communicate, work on our level of communication, working on our ability, work on our ability to listen to each other, to hear each other's point that's being made. Listen to each other. Let's listen. Let's communicate on a whole nother level, whole nother plane, because it's our time and this is the time to do so. This is Elman Woodson with your 5 minutes of motivation, and I hope that helped you today. I will see you on the other side.